First of all, I want to introduce David Barrett. We use PicPR to do a lot of our social media, to do our PR, to do our video content. There are photographers here today. They do a lot for us, and they're fabulous. If you need a PR company, PicPR are for you. We're running 2 campaigns. We've done one, we've already started one, we launched it really at the Independent Hotel Show on why I love hospitality, hashtag why I love hospitality. And that was all about just people saying why they love working in this industry so that we can push that out to the wider public in the hope that people will find out how brilliant it is to work in hospitality. And the second one, which we're launching today, which David is going to tell you a little bit more, is hashtag share your success. Shall I just hand over to you?
Yeah, please do. Thank you, Jane. Thank you for your very kind words. I mean, we all know how serious the staffing issue is at the moment, but everyone in this room will also know just the opportunities that can be given to you guys by the hospitality sector. Yesterday, we had a new client meeting with a new hotel group. They own and run 4 lovely establishments, and we met the senior team there, including their marketing director. And she had been there, I think she said 5 or 6 years, and she started off life part-time as a receptionist, and she's now marketing director, and that is insane growth. But we just don't hear about it enough. So, guys, we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear your success stories. So today, we've launched a new campaign called Share Your Success. There will be more details coming to everybody who's in this room. There'll be an email going out to HOSPA members as well, I believe, early next week. And all you need to do is register there and tell us your own success story. Tell us your own story in terms of progressing through the sector. And then we will take it from there. There's going to be a big PR machine from this. We're going to look to contact local schools to your establishments. We're going to even try and look to connect with schools that you used to go to. Because quite frankly, the younger generation just don't know how good it can be in hospitality, and that's what this new campaign is all about.
Which leads us very neatly into our invited VERYAN to join us on stage today, because I was listening recently to VERYAN speak about something that she did locally to the hotel in Newquay, I was going to say Torquay, Newquay in Cornwall. So I'll just hand over to you to just explain what you did and how maybe people can benefit from what you learned and how successful you were, VERYAN.
So for a number of years, I've been working with speakers for schools, going into schools, talking about hospitality and giving back into schools, talking about hospitality as a really credible and fab career. In January this year, speakers for schools asked me to do a lot more. And then I suddenly realized that no schools in Cornwall were actually engaging with anything like this. And so I started to reach out to some schools and say, hey, can I come in and talk about hospitality? I spoke to about 4,500 14-year-olds between January and June, and schools started sort of hawking me out with all their other friends' schools to say, hey, she can come and talk. And we ended up realizing quite quickly that there was a real sort of talent in the sort of 14 to 16-year-old age group that wanted to get into hospitality but didn't know how to get into hospitality, and their parents were terrified about them going into the industry. So I then started going to parents' evenings, and my big thing is I do any question answered about hospitality. You get some very odd questions, but I answer them truthfully. And then from that, we had a summer placement program of 32 students that came to join us. Of the 32, by the end of the summer, 31 were still with us. Brilliant. And 31 of them helped us through October half term. They're brilliant. We did a special induction program. I will say we babysit them. And if any of you are thinking of doing this, A, it's very hard work. You have to teach them how to open bank accounts and lots of other things like that. But B, we really looked after them. We absolutely complied with the law in terms of how many hours they worked, when their breaks were. We paid them £8.81 an hour rather than, I think, the $3.75 or $4.10 an hour. They should be paid for their age. We made it a very credible career and a great first job. We then opened up for next summer, and I've already got 41 applications, and we're not even in next year yet. So it's really brilliant, and the schools are really keen to get on board with you. And if I may just very briefly share one story, we had a lovely letter from one of the head teachers. We had a young lad who, when I was interviewing him very briefly, he couldn't even meet my eyes, couldn't even look me in the eyes. He was so terrified. I'm not that scary. But when I asked him about his hobby and he started talking about fishing, he had sparkle. And for those, I mean, everyone here who's recruited in hospitality, you look for that sparkle. So I thought, right, we're going to give this young chap, James, a chance. And he started with us. And yeah, for the first 2 weeks, he would coffee and walk around not looking at anyone. By the end of the summer, so about 8.5 weeks later, he was the bubbliest, chattiest member of our team with the guests. And his head teacher and his careers teacher wrote a letter to me saying, oh my goodness, what did you do to him? This young lad who'd practically never said boo to a goose in his class before was voted class captain after the first fortnight at school. And the teacher said, hospitality, you guys, you've changed his life, quite literally. So there are absolute, amazingly brilliant young people. Please do what we did. It worked for us, but please look after them. Because the danger is if some of us do it and we don't do it right and we really quite abuse young people, it will do so much damage to the industry. This is a great place for us to recruit from, but please do it properly.
Absolutely. I think when we spoke about it, VERYAN, when VERYAN and I first spoke about it, she said, I'll only do this if I'm allowed to make the point that if you're going to do it properly. And I think that's really, really valuable. So I'm glad you've made that point. Thank you both so much. And hashtag share your success. Go onto the website and take the opportunity to spread the word so that we can get more young people into the industry. Thank you very much.